Trigun Stampede. Now, I'm not gonna hold you, right? If I was in that same building, that same exact room when they had suggested making this a new thing, like bringing back Trigun, nobody would have left that building alive. Because I am 100% against remakes. Because guys, listen, bro, remakes tend to not work. I mean, yeah, you've had Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood and maybe, Hunter x Hunter, they did the remakes, but yo, trust, most of the time, the remakes don't hit, especially if it's a classic. Like, I just don't get why people just can't leave it alone, you know what I mean? Like, it's not bothering nobody, it's a classic, it's a legend, but with you bringing it back, it gives you a chance to ruin it. Again, ruin the anime for the OG fans and for the new people who've never even heard of it. And don't get me started on the movies, the live action movies, like guys, some things just don't need to happen. But they've already done it, it's a thing, and people are definitely talking about it. And the Trigun community is kind of split. I mean, it's a little bit of an uneven split, but they're still pretty split. So while there's a lot of people who do love it, they're in love with the new animation, bringing it back to life, there's also the fans that hate it. They wish they never brought it back. So real quick, I just want to talk about both sides, and give my 2 cents on the whole matter. And with everything you're about to hear, you can come with your own conclusion on whether you should start it or not. So now let's talk about why people are pissed. This is granted to happen because, again, when you touch something that doesn't need to be touched, the fans aren't gonna like it. And the first episode dropped, and maybe the second one, I haven't seen the second one yet, but the first episode dropped, and you can immediately tell the differences. But even before the episode, let's just talk about his drip. So this is what Vash looked like in Trigun, and this is what he looks like in Stampede. And if you guys look close enough, you might notice a huge difference. The arm, like, bro, like, what? And that's actually something I wish they would have changed myself. Now, it's not like I don't see their vision, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know they're trying to make him look more modern, which I actually didn't mind that much. OG fans love, the long red jacket, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was like his stamp, you know what I mean? Like, that was Vash. And now they have this new Vash, which is just like, like a designer kind of jacket, you know what I'm saying? It's not like the original long coat. And I can kind of relate, you know what I'm saying? Because let's say One Piece ends and they decide to do a reboot later on down the line. And instead of Luffy having a straw hat, he has like a baseball cap. Like, bro, like, I ain't gonna hold you right. I'm going straight to Japan. I'll learn Japanese and, hey, we gonna talk. You know what I'm saying? We gonna talk, and if negotiations don't go right, I'm just burning down the place, okay? All progress they made is gotta go. Back to Stampede. But with the jacket aside, they kind of revealed something major about Vash that we didn't know about till later on in the series in the original Trigun. With the old fit, you couldn't tell that his arm wasn't normal. But with his new design, you can clearly tell that something's off. Like, you obviously can see that that's not like a regular arm. And that kind of takes away a little bit of the mystery behind Vash. Now, I know some of you guys may be hearing that and be like, okay, KT, that's not, like super, super big. But they do a lot of minor changes that eventually could bother an OG fan. For example, or at least I'm gonna give you guys some of the examples, of the differences. Vash's original gun was silver, you know what I'm saying? It was that long with no revolver, it looked like it was hunting werewolves or type shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was his signature gun, but now his gun's black. If you've seen the original Trigun, you're confused on what gun Knives has, which was also something that could kind of represent like their hearts, you know what I'm saying? Vash had more of a brighter heart, and Knives has kind of an evil, darker heart. Like those kind of symbolisms get changed around, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the subtle details that can piss somebody off. Also, Meryl doesn't work for an insurance company anymore, she's a reporter. Which, okay, it's just a job position, but there's also somebody missing. Where's Millie? Now, Millie may make a cameo later down in the series, but she's been so far replaced with like this old drunk like reporter dude or whatever that's supposed to be like her senior. So it's not just her changing job, it's like her position in the job, because Meryl was the one that said, hey, we have to follow Vash, you know what I'm saying? Like, she was the one that took charge, she's the one that said we gotta do it. So now there's a new guy that's gonna be saying we gotta follow him, I'm like, there's something. And with Millie not being there, that kind of makes Wolfwood's character like relationship interesting. You know what I mean? Because Wolfwood and Millie kind of liked each other, you know what I'm saying? So in this new one, is Wolfwood and the new reporter old dude about to, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, hey, these are questions that I gotta know, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are gonna be differences we're gonna be seeing. So again, these minor differences, which could lead to bigger differences down the line, these are some reasons why they don't really mess with it. But in my personal opinion, after watching, and observing everything, I don't care. Now again, I'm not a serious Trigun fan, but I like what they did. After watching just the first episode, I can't lie, they did a pretty good job. Like, Vash still has the same crying, goofy energy that he always had, you know what I'm saying? Like, they did a pretty good job at keeping the energy that Trigun has, or at least so far. At first, I was worried about the animation because, again, they're leaning slightly towards that 3D animation, which, if you guys know me, I don't like that 3D animation. Like, half the animes look like Roblox, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't look good. It looked too bulky, but they did a pretty good job with the animation with this one. Like, when I was watching it, I was looking at some of the scenes, I was like, yo, this is actually pretty good. Like, they did a very good job. You could tell they put their blood, sweat, and tears into it. And I also like where they're going with the story. Because in the original Trigun, like, the first, 7 or 8 episodes was kind of episodic. I mean, we did get to know Vash a little bit better and the characters and everything, but you didn't know where the show was going. With Stampede, I like how they start right off the bat with his past and then kind of brought you to the present. I also like the fact that they show who the villain is, or at least we have a good idea of who the villain's gonna be. Because in the original Trigun, Knives wasn't mentioned until like, I mean, like, he wasn't really like a character until like halfway through the series. Which again, to me, I like that because I like to know where an anime is going. I don't like to just kind of like watch and wait until, you know, so something comes together. So with all that, in my personal opinion, Trigun Stampede is worth watching, or at least worth checking it out, unless you are an OG fan. Like, if those details bother you, you know what I'm saying? You can tell that it's only gonna grow later on down the line, and you don't want to see Trigun change. You want to keep your vision of Trigun like in your head or whatever, like, I wouldn't watch it then, you know what I'm saying? Like, because they're definitely changing it, they're definitely changing the story and how it's gonna go. But for everybody else, I think you guys go ahead and check it out. I think there's like 2 episodes out right now, so I'm gonna be keeping up with it, and so hopefully they keep, you know, what they're doing, because so far they're doing pretty good. And that's my thoughts about it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments if you guys have seen it already. And hey, Stevie.